The rain hammered the windshield like fists of regret as I pulled up to that crumbling brownstone in Brooklyn, the kind of place where dreams go to die under layers of peeling paint. Jake's voice had cracked over the phone 2 hours earlier. "Zach, he's not okay. Just get here, man. For me." And now, staring at the buzzard door, I wondered if I'd bitten off more than I could chew. But when Nicholas yanked open the door, wild-eyed and shirtless, a half-empty bottle of Jack dangling from his fist, his first words hit me like a sucker punch. "Who the fuck are you? And why do you think you can fix me?" I froze in the doorway, the storm's chill seeping into my bones. But it was his eyes, storm gray and shattered, that pinned me in place. Nicholas looked like he'd been through a war nobody else could see. Lean frame taut with unspoken rage, a fresh bruise blooming purple on his jaw like a badge of some secret shame. Jake hadn't sugarcoated it. His little brother was spiraling, kicked out by their Bible-thumping folks in Ohio after they found his Grindr app open on the family laptop. But seeing it up close, it was like staring into a mirror of my own buried ghosts. "Zachary," I said, extending a hand that felt too steady for the chaos in my gut. "Your brother's friend. He begged me to come. Said you needed backup." Nicholas snorted, a bitter sound that echoed off the narrow hallway walls cluttered with takeout boxes and crumpled sketches. His art, I guessed, from the charcoal smudges on his fingers. He slammed the door behind me, the bottle sloshing amber warnings. "Backup? That's cute. Like I'm some damsel in a fairy tale. Sit down before you catch your death out there." The apartment was a time capsule of despair. Faded posters of indie bands peeling from the walls, a futon sagging under the weight of forgotten laundry, and in the corner, a canvas half-finished, a turbulent sea swallowing a lone figure, all jagged lines and desperate blues. I perched on the edge of a rickety chair, peeling off my soaked jacket, while Nicholas paced like a caged wolf. He was 23, Jake had said, fresh out of art school with dreams bigger than his bank account, but the city had chewed him up fast. "So, what's the plan, hero?" he mocked, swigging from the bottle. "Gonna pray the gay away? Or just tell me to man up?" His words stung, sharp as the whiskey on his breath. But I saw the plea beneath the armor, the kid who just wanted someone to stay. I'd been there, back in high school in Philly, hiding crushes on the quarterback while Dad preached fire and brimstone from the pulpit. Coming out had cost me my family, my faith, everything but the fire in my belly to fight for guys like him. "No prayers," I replied, voice low and even. "No bullshit. Just company. If you'll have it." He stopped pacing, those gray eyes locking onto mine, searching for the lie. For a heartbeat, the rain outside softened to a murmur, and something electric hummed between us, raw, unspoken, dangerous. That night blurred into a haze of bad decisions and brutal truths. Nicholas talked. God, did he talk, pouring out the poison like it was confession. How Mom had screamed abomination, while Dad packed his bags with a silent fury that cut deeper than words. How he'd hitchhiked to New York with a sketchpad and $50, crashing on couches until this shoebox sublet became his fragile fortress. "I'm not broken," he spat at one point, slamming the bottle down so hard it splintered the coffee table's glass top. "I'm just tired. Tired of pretending." I nodded, sharing slivers of my own scars. The ex who ghosted me after I got too real. The job at the graphic design firm that paid the bills but starved the soul. By dawn, the bottle was empty, the rain had quit, and Nicholas had crashed on the futon, his head lolling against my shoulder like he'd finally found solid ground. I should have left then, chalked it up to a solid night's work for Jake. But as sunlight sliced through the grimy blinds, gilding his lashes gold, I felt it, that pull, magnetic and merciless. He stirred, mumbling something incoherent, and when his hand brushed mine, warm and calloused from charcoal grips, I didn't pull away. "Stay," he whispered. I still closed, like a prayer he didn't believe in anymore. And damn if I didn't. The next few days stitched us into something fragile, a patchwork of diner coffee runs and late-night walks along the East River, where the skyline glittered like a promise we both doubted. Nicholas dragged me to his part-time gig at a hole-in-the-wall gallery in Williamsburg, slinging cheap prints to hipsters who wouldn't know real art if it tagged them. "Watch this," he'd say, sketching caricatures of pretentious collectors on napkins, his laugh a rare, rusty thing that lit up the dim space. I'd counter with my own doodles, stick-figure superheroes battling corporate drones, our hands brushing over the paper, sparks jumping like faulty wiring. One evening, as the city hummed with Friday fever, we ended up at a dive bar in the village, the kind with rainbow flags faded from too many prides. The jukebox crooned Springsteen, all blue-collar heartache, and Nicholas leaned in close over our shared pitcher of cheap beer. "You know why Jake sent you?" he asked, voice slurred soft. "Not 'cause I'm suicidal, though. Yeah, maybe a little. It's 'cause you're the only one he trusts who gets it. The whole me." His knee pressed against mine under the table, deliberate, testing. I swallowed hard, the air thick with unspoken invitations. "Gets it," I echoed, heart thundering. "Hell, Nick, I live it." That's when he kissed me, or maybe I kissed him. The memory's a tangle of urgency. His lips tasted like hops and hope, rough from biting back screams. And for those stolen minutes, the bar faded, the leers from straight couples, the ache of old wounds. We stumbled back to his place, hands fumbling with zippers and zip codes of the soul, bodies crashing like waves on that half-finished canvas. It was messy, fervent, the kind of sex that peels back layers until you're raw and real. Afterward, tangled in sheets that smelled of turpentine and takeout, he traced the tattoos on my chest, a phoenix rising from Bible verses scorched black. "You're not fixing me, Zach," he murmured, fingers lingering. "You're waking me up, but New York doesn't let you wake without a reckoning." Jake called the next morning, his voice all big brother bark. "How's the kid? You bail him out yet?" I glanced at Nicholas, still asleep, one arm slung possessively over my waist, and lied smooth as silk. "Yeah, man. He's good. We'll be fine." Guilt gnawed at me, but so did the thrill, this secret blooming in the cracks of our lives, wild and unchecked. We built it brick by illicit brick. Stolen weekends sketching in Central Park, where tourists snapped pics of us like we were just another quirky couple. Midnight drives to Coney Island, chasing ghosts on the boardwalk while the cyclone loomed like a heart attack waiting to happen. Nicholas opened up more, his art shifting from drowned figures to defiant lovers etched in fire, me, I suspected, woven into every stroke. "This city's a beast," he'd say, chin on my shoulder as we watched ferries slice the Hudson. "But with you, feels like I could tame it." I believed him. God help me, I did. Until the text started. Faceless numbers pinging Nicholas's phone at odd hours. Messages I glimpsed like poison darts. "Miss you, baby. When you coming back?" He'd delete them fast, muttering about old flames. But the shadow lingered, a chill in our fever dream heat. One night, after a gallery opening where his piece, a fractured portrait of two men embracing amid thorns, sold for a pittance, he snapped when I pressed. It's nothing, Zach, just ghosts from Ohio. Let it die. His eyes, those gray storms, flashed with something darker than desire, fear, maybe, or the first fracture. I let it slide, chalking it up to city paranoia, but the unease rooted deep. Jake sensed it too, cornering me at our weekly pickup basketball game in Prospect Park. Sweat slick and breathless, he grabbed my arm post-game. You're too involved, man. Nick's volatile, don't let him drag you under. His words landed like a blindside tackle, but I shrugged them off with a grin. Just helping a friend. Jake, friend. The lie tasted like ash. Then came the betrayal, swift as a subway rat. It was a muggy August afternoon, the kind where the asphalt shimmers like a bad trip, and I swung by Nicholas's unannounced with falafel wraps from our spot on Atlantic Avenue. The door was ajar, moans spilling out like smoke signals, low, rhythmic, heartbreakingly familiar. Pushed in, the world tilting, and there he was, Nicholas, arched on the futon, lost in the arms of some broad-shouldered ghost from those texts. The guy, tall, blonde, with a Midwest drawl that slithered out between gasps, froze first, then Nicholas, his face crumpling from ecstasy to horror. Zach, he started, scrambling for a sheet, but I was already backing out, the falafel bag hitting the floor with a wet splat. Don't, I choked, the door frame digging into my palm like teeth. Just don't. The alley blurred as I bolted, rain starting up again like the sky was weeping for fools like me. Betrayal burned hot, a bonfire of what-ifs. Was I ever real to him, or just Jake's proxy, a safe harbor till the storm passed? I ghosted them both. Radio silence on Jake's worried voicemails, blocks on Nicholas's frantic texts that escalated from please. It wasn't what you think to I love you. You idiot, talk to me. I threw myself into work, churning out ad copy for soulless brands, the phoenix on my chest itching like a fresh wound. Nights, I'd prowl the bars alone, nursing whiskeys and warding off advances with a glare that said handle with care, fragile. But Nicholas haunted me. His laugh echoing in empty sketches I'd find in my jacket pockets, the phantom weight of his head on my shoulder. 2 weeks in, Jake ambushed me at my loft in Dumbo, all frantic energy and brotherly guilt. What the hell happened? Nick's a wreck. Won't eat, won't paint. Says he fucked up with you. I laughed, brittle as shattered glass. Understatement of the year. Jake paced my exposed brick space, running hands through his hair. Look, the guys from another planet, our folks drilled shame into him like Morse code. That dude, ex from back home, showed up uninvited. All let's fix this abomination bullshit. Nick was weak, man. But he ended it, kicked the prick out before you even walked in. I sank onto the couch, the fight draining like old battery acid. Doesn't change the knife twist. Jake, he stopped, eyes softening with that rare vulnerability. I know. But you're the best thing that's happened to him since Mom stopped pretending he existed. Give him a shot to explain. For me, damn him, always the glue, the good guy in our trio. Caved, because what else was there? Pride's a cold bedfellow. That night, I found Nicholas in the alley behind his building, huddled under the fire escape with a sketchpad, rain sheeting down like judgment. He looked wrecked, cheeks hollowed, eyes red-rimmed, but when he saw me, he surged up, words tumbling. Zach, I got I'm so sorry. He just peered, and I panicked. Thought if I could pretend, just once, it'd erase the mess I made of us. His voice cracked, hands shaking as he thrust the pad at me. A new drawing, us on the boardwalk, intertwined against the cyclone's silhouette, titled Taming the Beast. I took it, the paper sodden but the lines fierce. You broke me, Nick. Thought we were building something real. He stepped closer, rain mingling with tears. We are. I swear it. You're not Jake's fix, you're mine. My wake-up, my everything. His hand found mine, tentative, and the pull reignited, tempered now by scars. I yanked him against the wall, kissing him fierce under the neon flicker, the city watching our messy redemption. But love's no fairy tale, it claws back. The next months were a tightrope, therapy sessions where Nicholas unpacked his demons while I held his hand white-knuckled. Family calls from Ohio that ended in voicemails of veiled threats. Jake's awkward bro hugs masking his relief. We moved in together, my Dumbo loft becoming our canvas, walls splashed with his murals, our lives a collaborative stroke. Yet doubt lingered. A low hum. Was this forgiveness or fool's gold? The climax crashed in like a nor'easter, unannounced and unforgiving. It was Thanksgiving. Jake hosting a found family, spread in his queen's walk-up, turkey dry as regret, pie from the bodega, and a motley crew of misfits toasting survival. Laughter flowed easy until the door buzzed. Nicholas's ex, that blonde specter from Ohio, flanked by their parents like holy enforcers. We're here to bring you home, son, Dad boomed, Bible in hand, Mom's eyes glassy with rehearsed tears. The room froze, forks midair, as Nicholas paled to ash. You don't get it, he whispered, rising like a man to the gallows. This is home, but Dad's voice thundered scripture, venom for the lifestyle that stole our boy, while Mom clutched the ex's arm like a lifeline. Jake jumped in, all protective fire. Get out, you hypocrites. But it was Nicholas's turn to shatter. I tried, he roared, tears carving rivers. Tried to be your perfect sinner, Dad. But Zach, he sees me. All of me, the ex sneered. He's using you, Nicky. Pity fuck from the city. That did it. I surged forward, fist connecting with jaw in a crack that echoed like thunder. Chaos erupted, shouts, shoves, Jake hauling Dad back as Mom wailed. Nicholas grabbed me, dragging us both out into the crisp November night, our breaths fogging like ghosts. We ran, blocks blurring, until we collapsed on a bench in Cunningham Park, sirens wailing distant. They're gone, he gasped, head on my knees. But what if they're right? What if I'm poison? I cupped his face. Rain. Fucking rain again, starting to spit. You're not poison, Nick. You're the antidote. We kissed there, under sodium lamps, the betrayal's echo fading against our pulse. His parents left that night, tails tucked, the ex slinking back to whatever hell birthed him. No grand apologies followed, just silence, a humanistic mercy, letting wounds scar on their own. In the aftermath, we rebuilt quieter, a joint exhibit in Soho where his Phoenix series, Us, Rising, drew tears from strangers. Lazy Sundays with Jake grilling in the yard, our trio mended if not flawless. Nicholas's art bloomed, galleries calling, while I quit the firm for freelance. Our designs a love letter in pixels. Betrayal's scar, toughens, reminds. But love humanizes, turns monsters to men. 1 year on, atop the Empire State, Cheesy as hell. But ours, we watched the city sprawl like a forgiven sin. Speechless yet, Nicholas teased. Ring box sly in his pocket. A simple band, etched with waves. I pulled him close. The wind whipping promises. Every damn day, and in that moment, under America's glittering indifference, we weren't fixed, we were free. The ring felt heavier than it should. A titanium anchor in my pocket as we descended the observatory, the city's pulse syncing with my own erratic beat. Nicholas chattered about the view. Did you see that barge? Like a goddamn leviathan. But his free hand kept drifting to mine, fingers interlacing like roots seeking soil. We talked marriage in whispers, post-fight decompressions over takeout foe. But saying it aloud? That was the leap, the vow that turned us into forever. Back in the loft, boxes of his art supplies migrated from the alley's damp corners to sunlit shelves, our lives folding together like origami hearts. Jake helped that weekend, hauling canvases with grunts and grins. Never thought I'd see the day, he said, wiping sweat from his brow as we cracked beers on the fire escape. My little bro, domesticated. Nicholas lobbed a paintbrush at him, smearing azure across Jake's shirt. Says the guy still swiping right on Tinder rejects. Laughter boomed, easy as summer thunder. But beneath it, Jake's eyes held a question. You sure? I nodded, clinking bottles. Sure as the skyline. Yet certainty's a fickle bitch. Whispers of doubt crept in during quiet hours. Nicholas's late nights at the studio, phone buzzing with client texts that lit his face guilty. I'd scroll my feed, seeing him tagged in group shots at queer artist mixers, smiling too wide beside lithe twinks with eyes like invitations. Paranoia? Maybe. But betrayal's echo is a persistent fucker, replaying that futon scene in high-def nightmares. One such night, I waited up, the loft's exposed beams casting long shadows like accusatory fingers. He stumbled in at 2 a.m., cheeks flushed from wine or wind, charcoal dust on his collar. Productive? I asked, voice neutral as a therapist's notepad. He paused, shrugging off his jacket. Yeah, babe. New collab, guy from RISD. Total visionary. His kiss was quick, evasive, tasting faintly of Merlot and something sharper. Cologne? I pulled back, the air thickening. Visionary enough to keep you out this late? His laugh was forced, a crack in the facade. Jealous much? This work, Zach. But his eyes darted, and when he crashed early, I found the text thread later, innocent on surface. Can't wait for round 2. Your lines kill me. Attached, a sketch, intimate, his hand on another's thigh. Heart slamming, I deleted the thread before he woke, the act a small treason of my own. Trust, fragile as rice paper, tore a little more. We pushed through, papering cracks with romance. A road trip upstate, chasing autumn leaves through the Catskills, where fog-shrouded lakes mirrored our tentative peace. In a creaky B&B with clawfoot tubs, we soaked away suspicions, his body molding to mine like custom clay. Marry me? He murmured, bubbles popping soft, my ring box bobbing like a dare. I said yes, sealing it with salt and steam, but the drive home hummed with unsaid storms. Thanksgiving's shadow loomed again, this time our own intimate, just us and Jake. No family landmines. We cooked, turkey brined in bourbon, stuffing spiked with sage from a Union Square vendor. Jake arrived with pie and a six-pack, his presence the buffer we craved. Over seconds, he grilled Nicholas on the exhibit. Sold 3 already? Kid. you're blowing up. And for an hour, it was golden. Toasts to resilience. Stories of Christmases past when we'd sneak beers in Jake's basement, plotting escapes from suburbia. Then the call came, slicing the warmth. Mom, voice quavering through the speaker on Nicholas's insistence. One last try. For holidays, he patched her in. Hopeful fool. And her words dripped honeyed barbs. We miss you, Nikki. Dad, sorry, church counseling helped. Come home. Bring that. Friend. If you must. Friend. The demotion stung, but Nicholas beamed, whispering progress. As we hung up, I forced a smile, but inside, alarms blared, Ohio's gravity, pulling relentless. The betrayal's second act unfolded subtly, a slow poison. Nicholas started weekend retreats to the family's old cabin in the Poconos. Clear my head, sketch uninterrupted. I drop him off, kissing through the truck window, but the miles nod. One Friday, boredom and bourbon conspired. I drove up unannounced, the cabin's lights twinkling like false stars. Through the frost-laced window, I saw them, Nicholas and a local artist, bodies entwined on the bearskin rug, firelight dancing on skin like sin's own spotlight. My fist connected with the door before my brain caught up, splintering wood and illusion. Nicholas jolted up, sheet clutched like a shield, the other guy rugged, bearded, all flannel and regret, scrambling for pants. Zach, shit, wait, Nicholas lunged. But I was ice. Words frozen blades. Round 2. Visionary. Hope the lines were worth it. I turned. Gravel crunching under tires as I peeled out. The cabin shrinking in the rearview like a bad dream. The drive back was a blur of wipers and wails. My own sobs swallowed by Springsteen on the radio. Thunder Road. Ironic as hell. Jake found me at dawn. Parked crooked outside his place. Engine still rumbling. Again? He groaned, hauling me inside for black coffee and brotherly inquisition. Nicholas's texts bombarded. Mistake. Drunk. Please. Jake read one aloud. Voice weary. He's spiraling, man. But you're drowning too. I confessed the ring, the plans, the fool's hope. Jake sighed, clapping my shoulder. Love's not linear, it's a goddamn maze. But bailing? That's the coward's exit. His words anchored me, enough to agree to one talk. Neutral ground. A diner in Midtown. Formica tables scarred like our history. Nicholas arrived haggard, eyes hollowed by all-nighters. It was escape, he admitted over cooling eggs. Voice raw. Mom's call reopened everything. The shame, the fix-me bullshit. That guy? Nothing. A warm body to drown the noise. His hand reached for mine, trembling. But you're the signal in the static. Tears welled. Mine messy catharsis amid the clatter of plates. I can't keep breaking us, he whispered. Therapy for real this time. No more retreats. I believed him, or wanted to, sliding the ring across the table like a gauntlet. Then prove it. He slipped it on. Silver glinting promise. And we walked out into the December chill, arms linked against the wind. Winter wrapped us tight. Joint sessions where we unpacked betrayals like luggage. His escapes traced to abandonment wounds, mine to a fear of echoes. The exhibit launch was our triumph. Crowds thronging his phoenixes, critics murmuring raw revelation. Jake toasted us that night, champagne fizzing like fireworks, to mazes and the assholes who navigate them together. But peace is prelude. Spring brought Ohio's olive branch. A letter, handwritten, Mom's cursive pleading reconciliation. We're ready to listen, Nicholas debated, pace-wearing paths in our loft. What if it's a trap? Countered. What if it's growth? We went road trip of reckoning, my truck loaded with hope and hurt. The farmhouse loomed unchanged, white clapboard, cross gleaming. Dad met us on the porch, handshake firm but eyes averted. Dinner was stilted, prayers invoking healing, small talk skirting the chasm. Then, post-pie, Mom broke. We were scared, Nicky, of losing you two. This world. Nicholas's laugh was sharp. This world saved me. Ma. Dad cleared his throat, voice gravel. We see that now. Counseling. Opened eyes. No apology, but a nod to the ex's shadow. He left, confessed his manipulations. Progress. Jagged-edged. We left with hugs, tentative bridges. Back in the city, Nicholas painted furiously, a family portrait, thorns blooming roses. Human. Ha, he said, paint-smeared grin. I kissed his temple. Painfully, yet the undercurrent stirred. Jake's wedding loomed, his fiancée, Sarah. All sunshine plans, and Nicholas volunteered as best man, a role laced with irony. Rehearsal dinner at a rooftop in Chelsea, skyline aglow, toasts flowing. I stepped out for air, the breeze carrying murmurs from the shadowed corner. Nicholas, voice low, to an old flame from the gallery circuit. It was intense. Yeah, but Zach? He's endgame. The words warmed, but the proximity chilled, hand on arm. Too lingering. Trust's a muscle, sore from reps. I confronted him later, over midnight tacos. Flirting's fine, till it's fuel. He deflated, nodding. Habit. Sabotage mode. We vowed transparency. Phones open. Hearts audited. Summer scorched in. Our love a slow burn. Beach days at Rockaway. Waves crashing confessions. Pride floats where we marched hand in firm hand. Rainbows defying downpours. The betrayals? Scars. Not shackles, reminders to choose daily. But climax calls. Inevitable. Jake's wedding day dawned perfect, Central Park, under a canopy of oaks. Nicholas stood tall in his suit, vows proxying our own. Through mazes and messes, bro, as rings exchanged, my phone buzzed, unknown he's lying. Ask about the cabin. Heart plummeting, I slipped away, dialing the sender. Silence, then a click, Nicholas's ex. Voice venom, saw your posts. He's playing you, met him last month. Poconos. Just talking, he said, the ceremony blurred. Toasts a roar in my ears. Reception under string lights. I pulled Nicholas aside. Photo booth curtain our confessional. Cabin. Last month. Truth. His face crumpled. Confetti falling like ash. Zach, Yeah. He reached out. Post letter from Mom. Needed to end it clean. Face to face. Clean? The word mocked. But his eyes pleaded raw. No sex. Swear. Just closure. I told him, endgame's you. Doubt warred with desire. The party's joy a cruel backdrop. How many closures? Nick? Till I'm the ghost. He grabbed my lapels. Desperate. You're the anchor. Therapy's helping. I'm not running. We emerged. Dancing through the night. His head on my shoulder to the band's cover of At Last. But the seed sprouted. Questions wilting our bloom. Fall stripped leaves and illusions. Arguments escalated, small at first, over forgotten texts, then seismic. "You're waiting for the next escape," I'd yell. Him countering, "And you're policing my soul." Jake mediated. Weary, fight fair, or fold. The breaking point hit in November, anniversary eve, rain lashing windows as we packed for a getaway. I found the email job offer from a gallery in LA. Nicholas's name bold. "West Coast expansion," the subject mocked. "Why didn't you say?" I demanded, laptop slamming. He sighed, defeated. "Auditioned on a whim, thought it'd be leverage here. But, yeah, tempted. Fresh start. No baggage. Baggage. Me. So I'm the chain?" Silence damned him. I stormed out, streets slick with regret, hailing a cab to Jake's. "It's over," I sobbed into his shoulder. The brother I'd leaned on now collateral. He drove me back at dawn. Nicholas waiting, bags half-packed. "Don't go," I begged, pride shattered. "Fight for us here." Tears streamed, his resolve cracking. "LA's a dream, Zach. But you're my reality." He canceled the flight that day, shredding the offer like old skin. Winter healed slow, more therapy. Boundaries redrawn, phones private, but check-ins ritual. We planned our wedding small Brooklyn courthouse. Jake officiating, misfits toasting. Vows exchanged under gray skies. Through betrayals and beasts. I choose you. The betrayals? They humanized us, taught forgiveness as verb, not gift. Nicholas's art evolved. Series on fractured loves mending. Sold out in Chelsea. I launched our studio, designs breathing life into his visions. Jake's kid arrived spring, our godson, tiny fist gripping fingers, symbol of cycles broken. One rain-lashed night, alley echo, he pulled me close. Speechless, I grinned, kissing salt from lips. Utterly, in America's vast, flawed heart, we'd carved our niche dramatic, emotional, unapologetically ours. The courthouse steps gleamed wet under April drizzle, a fitting baptism for our vows. Jake stood ramrod in his rented tux, eyes misty as he pronounced us, bound in the eyes of this city and whatever gods give a damn. Nicholas, my husband, grinned wolfish, sliding the band home with a whisper. Taming the beast. Forever. We kissed to cheers from our ragtag crew. Sarah cradling the baby, gallery pals toasting with flasks. Even a surprise video from Mom, halting words of pride that tasted like tentative grace. Honeymoon was a beat-up RV rattling west, chasing Route 66 ghosts through neon diners and desert dawns. Nicholas sketched roadside relics, rusted motels, cacti like spiky sentinels while I drove, his hand on my thigh a steady hum. "This is us," he'd say, pointing to faded billboards promising paradise. Worn but wondrous, we made love in Zion's shadows, red rock cradling moans, argued over maps in Grand Canyon heat, reconciling under star-pricked skies. Betrayal scar itched in quiet miles, but we named it the itch, laughing it into relic. Back east, life layered on, our studio thrived, clients flocking for the queer edge in our collabs, ads that subverted straight narratives, murals reclaiming Brooklyn walls. Nicholas landed a residency in Bushwick, warehouse space buzzing with welders and poets. Jake's family grew, barbecues now ritual where baby Grace gummed turkey legs, her giggles the glue. But harmony's a high-wire act, and gravity waits. The call came midsummer, Dad's voice gravel over static, "Nikki, heart attack. Come if you can." Nicholas paled, fork clattering in our sunlit kitchen. He's stable, but weak. Asking for you. The pole Ohio's hook, barbed with blood, yanked hard. I squeezed his hand. We go. Together. The flight was turbulence incarnate, mirroring our gut churn. Hospital smelled of bleach and regret. Mom's hug frail in the hallway. Dad lay tubes and wires, eyes sharpening on us. Boys, he rasped, the plural a concession. Nicholas perched bedside, voice steady. Scared us, old man. Dad's laugh wheezed. Scared myself. Turns out, life's shorter than sermons. No grand mea culpa, but a nod to the nightstand Bible, pages dog-eared at prodigal sons. Read this changed the lens. We stayed a week, mending in fragments, porch talks where Dad admitted blind spots, Mom baking pies with apologies folded in crust. Nicholas sketched him, frail but fierce, phoenix faint in the lines. Human, he murmured one eve, my arm around him on the swing. All of them. The ex lurked peripheral, town gossip, slinging beers at the local dive. But Nicholas shut it down. A curt water under the bridge when cornered. Return flights buoyed us, but cracks spidered. Nicholas dove deeper into work. Nights blurring into residencies. His energy electric but edged. Inspiration high, he'd claim, crashing late with paint under nails. I noticed the glow, texts lighting his face, collab mentions vague. Trust's muscle flexed, but paranoia cramped it. Fall foliage tour, we chased it north, Vermont inns with crackling fires. Amid maple blaze, he proposed a pivot, LA scout trip, network, not move, alarm bells, but I nodded. Together, the city of angels dazzled. Gallery crawls where his name buzzed. Schmoozes with curators eyeing fresh voices. One night, rooftop bar overlooking sprawl. He confessed over mezcal. It's tempting, the space, the light. But home's you, Zach. Temptations whisper, though. Back home. The email trail I stumbled on, innocent forwards. But one reply lingered. LA nights miss you already. Drinks soon? Sender. A curator. Sharp-jawed from the trip photos. Confrontation brewed slow. Exploding over Thanksgiving leftovers. Who's the miss? I demanded. Screen thrust. Nicholas deflated. Flirtation ego stroke. Nothing physical. But the itch scratched raw. How many strokes till it's betrayal redux? Therapy ramped. Sessions dissecting affirmation addiction. His voids filled by external highs. You're enough, I affirmed, but words warred with wounds. Jake weighed in post hoops. Sweat slick. Give him rope, but not a noose. Sage. But the knot tightened. Winter bit hard. Our first married holidays laced with frost. Christmas Eve. Tree twinkling in the loft. Nicholas unveiled his gift. A mural on our bedroom wall. Us as intertwined leviathans, taming seas. No more escapes, he vowed. Paint fresh hands cupping my face. We made love slow, reclaiming inches. But dawn brought the letter. Dad's remission. A family invite to heal proper. Ohio redux. Snow-dusted farmhouse. Tensions thawed by cocoa and carols. Dad, stronger, grilled me on the business. Gruff interest masking curiosity. Art's risk, I said. He grunted approval. Nicholas and Mom bonded over pies. Laughter real. The ex crashed the New Year's bash drunk. Desperate. You chose wrong. Nicky. Nicholas shut him down cold. I chose right twice. Security bounced him. our cheers sealing the night. Spring bloomed buoyant. Joint commission for a pride float, our designs marching bold. But undercurrents swirled. Nicholas's residency birthed a solo show, Fractured Freedoms, raw exposures of betrayal's anatomy. Opening night, throng buzzing. I caught him in a corner with the curator LA guy, hands too close. Networking, he mouthed when I glared. Later, in the cab, I unloaded. Network with boundaries, not bodies. The fight festered, silences snowballing. Jake's intervention brunch, your circling drains. Both. Nicholas broke first. Tears over mimosas. I'm terrified of failing you, of being the fuck-up forever. I softened, hugging fierce. We're both fuck-ups. That's the deal. Summer sizzled. Reconciliation in sweat. Couples retreat in the Hamptons. Yoga and yapping under dunes. We recommitted weekly check-ins. No secrets packs. The show sold out. Critics hailing visceral vulnerability. LA calls persisted, but he deferred. East Coast soul, yet climax coils eternal. Jake's promotion party, rooftop in Phi D, skyline smug brought the storm. Amid clinks and confetti, Nicholas vanished. I found him in the stairwell, phone to ear, voice hushed. Yeah, LA next month. Solo scout, hang up, face ashen. What? I hissed. Opportunity, he pleaded. 1 week. Prove I'm committed by choosing after. Ultimatum's edge. Sharp. Or it's goodbye. Silence sliced. I walked. Party fading. Hailing a cab to nowhere. Midnight texts. Airport. Don't. Jake's call. He's a mess. Booked refund. Dawn found us at the loft. Him on the stoop. Suitcase abandoned. Chose wrong again, he sobbed. You. Always. Embrace shattered us open. Rebuilding from shards. Fall anchored. No LA. Deeper roots. Adopting a mutt named Phoenix. Walks forging rhythms. Betrayals? Textbooks now. Chapters closed. Humanistic arc. Flaws as features. Love as labor. One rainy eve. Alley redux. He grinned. Speechless. I pulled him close. Eloquent in you. Phoenix's paws skittered on the loft's hardwood. A chaotic metronome to our mornings, coffee brewing. Nicholas humming off-key Dylan while I sketched briefs. The mutt. A wiry rescue with one ear flopped like a defeated flag. Embodied us. Patched together. Fiercely loyal. We joke he was our therapy fur. His tail wags chasing shadows from old fights. Jake adored him. Baby Grace's first word a garbled faux woof that had us all in stitches at family brunches. Life's rhythm steadied. A blues riff with swing. Nicholas's show toured, MoMA whispers. Then a spot in a Chelsea collective. I expanded the studio, hiring a queer non-binary artist whose digital weaves complemented his analog fury. Clients loved the synergy. Authentic edge. They'd coo, blind to the blood in our ink. Evenings, we'd unwind with takeout from the halal cart. Phoenix begging scraps. TV droning indie flicks where broken boys found grace. But grace is earned, not gifted. The letter arrived innocuous. Cream envelope, Ohio postmark. Mom's script inviting grandkids chat. Nicholas snorted over cereal. Subtle as a sledgehammer, yet his eyes softened, yearning for full circle. What if we visit, show em the life? I nodded, cautious. Your call, but no ambushes. Road trip redux. Truck loaded with canvases for Dad's man cave. Phoenix crated in back. Farmhouse welcomed warmer. Hugs sans hesitation. Dad's grip firm on my shoulder. Good to see you, son. Son. The word landed soft. A bomb. Dinners evolved. Talks of Grace's antics. Our studio wins. Dad's garden yields swapped for art anecdotes. Mom confessed over quilting. Prayed for your happiness. Turns out, it's this. Nicholas gifted Dad a portrait, him mid-harvest. Sun gilded. Phoenix subtle in the clouds. See yourself, he said. Dad teared up. Gruff. Damn fine. The ex. Town lore now. Married to misery. A cautionary whisper. We left lighter. Bridges sturdy. Summer hummed high. Pride again. Our float a leviathan of lights. Nicholas welding frames. Me coding projections of rising lovers. Marching arm in arm. Confetti storms. Jake pushing Grace's stroller beside. Post-parade. Rooftop rager. Toasts to 5 years since the alley. Laughter drowning old echoes. Yet undercurrents eddy. A new collaborator entered. Theo. A sculptor from the collective, tall, tatted, with a laugh like gravel and honey. Nicholas raved. His forms visceral. Babe. Joint projects bloomed. Installations merging paint and metal. Late nights in the warehouse where sparks flew literal and suspect. I dropped by, finding them elbow deep in clay. Theo's hand guiding Nicholas's on a curve. Art, I'd remind myself, but the itch returned, sharper. Fall's first chill brought the whisper. Overheard at a gallery mixer. Theo to a mutual. Nick's got layers, peeling 'em slow. Heart stutter. I confronted post-event. Cab weaving Manhattan. Peeling what? Exactly? Nicholas blinked. Wine loose. Metaphors. Zach. His work's about exposure. But defensiveness crept. Tell. Therapy flagged it. Projections poison. Our counselor urged. Voice even. Nicholas owned the blur. Adrenaline mimics intimacy. Vowing distance. But Theo's orbit pulled. A joint residency in Berlin. Career rocket. Solo, Nicholas swore. You know I'd invite. But visas. Doubt nod. But I waved it off. Fly high. Just land home. He did 2 weeks of emails poetic. Calls crackling with misuse. Souvenirs. Amber necklace for me. Sketches of Berlin scars. Reentry was fire. Loft lovemaking. Bodies mapping absences. Theo's intense, he admitted over schnitzel takeout. Pushed boundaries had me questioning. Questioning us? No art. Self. But seeds sprout. Winter wrapped tight. Holidays hybrid. Ohio for Christmas. City for New Year's. Dad's health held. Mom's quilts now rainbow threaded. Back home. Theo's visit. Professional consult. Nicholas insisted. Warehouse session stretched. Dinner after. My invite declined. Brainstorming. Babe. Midnight return. Him buzzed. Clay under nails. Productive. I probed. Revelatory. He grinned. But averted eyes. The snap came subtle. Phone left charging. Screen alight, Theo. Last night electric. More? Context. Post-dinner drinks. Blurred lines. Stomach lurch. I pocketed the screenshot. Waiting. Morning confrontation. Coffee cold. Electric how? Nicholas paled. Scrolling. Misread art talk. He overstepped. But the pact shattered. No secrets. Remember. Fight cyclone. Accusations hurled. Always the escape. Him countering. Always the jailer. Phoenix whimpered from the couch. Jake summoned for triage. Space, he advised, hauling Nicholas for beers. Paste. Phoenix tattoo burning. Rise or burn. Reunion at neutral. Central Park bench. Snow dusting benches. Nicholas arrived raw. Theo's out. Blocked. Collab paused. You're right, old patterns. Tears froze on lashes. Scared I'll lose you to my fuck-ups. I pulled him close. Chill seeping. Losing's mutual if we don't evolve. Pact renewed. Boundaries ironclad. Check-ins sacred. Spring tested. Theo's exit drama. Passive-aggressive posts shading cowards who clip wings. Nicholas ignored. Channeling to canvas. A scorched-winged bird. Mended in gold. Show cycled it. Kintsugi hearts. Sold swift. Critics lauding queer resilience. We celebrated rooftop. Jake toasting. To clipping your own damn wings. Summer scorched truths. Couples camp in the Adirondacks. Trust falls literal. Vulnerability verbal. We fell. Caught each other. Emerging scarred but synced. Studio boomed LA outreach. But collaborative. Me tagging along for scouts. City of Angels tempted. But Brooklyn called louder. Fall's harvest. Jake's book launch. Memoir on Brotherhood. Us woven in anonymized. Reading raw. My brother found his mirror in my best friend messy. But magic. Tears collective. After party hugs fierce. Theo faded to footnote. A lesson laminated. Yet peaks prelude valleys. Dad's decline whispered cancer. Late. Nicholas flew solo first. Me joining for the vigil. Hospital haze. Beeps and broth. Dad's hand in his. Proud. Son. He rasped. Eyes on our rings. Both of you. Mom clung. Quilting promises. We buried him under oaks. Eulogy Nicholas's. He learned to see late. But true. Grief glued us. Ohio trips ritual. Mom's farmhouse our retreat. Winter morn soft. Holidays hushed. Grace's toddler chaos lightning loads. New Year's. Alley toast. To ghosts laid. But climax crests unbidden. Spring exhibit Berlin Redux. Theo crashing uninvited. Congrats. He sneered to Nicholas. Me witnessing. Still playing safe? Nicholas's response. Arm around me. Voice steel. Safe's sanctuary. Safes us. Theo slunk. But venom lingered. Anonymous leak. Old sketches. Intimate. Twisted out of context online. Troll storm. Slurs. Docs threats. Nicholas spiraled. Studio dark. Exposed raw. I rallied. PR counter. Community shield. Queer networks amplifying truth. Jake lawyered up. Suit filed. Storm passed. Scars digital but fading. Human frailty. Nicholas reflected. Painting over. A collective mural. Community hands blending hues. Summer healed. Beach sabbatical. Phoenix chasing waves. Love's labor lightened, vows revisited. Rings polished. Betrayals. Backstories. Fueling fire. One dusk. Boardwalk echo. He murmured. Speechless. I laughed. Salt-kissed. Articulate in scars. The mural towered 10 stories on a Bushwick warehouse. Our magnum opus. A riot of faces. Queer elders' wisdom etched in gold leaf. Trans youth's fire in neon arcs. Lovers locked defiant amid thorns that bloomed defiant roses. Dedication day sweltered. Crowd swelling with allies and artists. Jake emceeing with mic in one hand. Grace toddling at his feet. Nicholas unveiled with a pull. Colors exploding sunward. Cheers thundering like judgment's defeat. To fractures mended. he shouted, my hand in his ring-glinting talisman. Media lapped it, Times piece on Brooklyn's beating heart, podcasts probing our alchemy, studio inquiries flooded, global gigs. But we cherry-picked, queer-led projects, souls over shekels. Mom visited that fall, quilt in tow, our story embroidered subtle, rainbows woven wary. She cooed over Phoenix, shared pie with Sarah, even sketched a leaf with Nicholas, hands steady. Healing's patchwork, she said, eyes on the mural sketch. Yours fits. Winter whispered change. Jake's expansion to LA, consulting firm, family trailing. Don't be strangers, he hugged fierce at the send-off brunch, Grace waving sticky fingers. Uncle Zach and Uncle Nick, best ever, distance tested, but Zooms bridged, virtual hoops, baby updates. Nicholas mourned the trio's fracture, our anchor gone west, but it freed us, duo dancing unscripted. Spring birthed bold. Adoption talks, whispers of expanding family. Little Phoenix? He'd muse, sketching crib mobiles. Agencies navigated slow, vetting histories, our betrayals bared like scars to sun. Resilient, caseworkers noted, nodding our therapy logs. Summer sealed it, match with Eli, 4-year-old firecracker with curls and questions, foster to forever. Homecoming chaos. Phoenix sniffing curious, Eli's giggles echoing lofts turned nursery. Parenting punched. Sleepless nights tag-teaming bottles. Nicholas's paints sidelined for Play-Doh wars. I catch him crooning lullabies off-key. Eli conked on his chest. And swell, love's evolution. Betrayal's antithesis. Jake FaceTimed glee. Uncle Duty's incoming. LA jet-setters reporting. Mom mailed storybooks. Notes tucked. Grandma's proud. Fall's frenzy. Eli's preschool plunge. Our schedules syncing parental pirouettes. A commission clashed, Tokyo install. Nicholas torn. Go, I urged. Eli on hip. We'll hold fort. He jetted reluctant. Calls daily. Miss my boys. Souvenir. Tiny samurai for Eli. Haiku for me. Waves crash. Yet shore endures. Return reignited. Family hikes in the Palisades. Eli chasing leaves. Phoenix panting loyal. But undercurrents, tamed, not extinct. A flirty email from Tokyo collab pinged, innocent, rebuffed swift. Old itch, he confessed over cider. Scratched and scarred over, we laughed, toasting growth. Winter's hush, holidays hybrid, Mom East, Jake West virtual tree trimming, Eli's chaos center stitch. New Year's, rooftop with neighbors, Eli fizzing sparklers, Nicholas pulling me aside. 10 years since the rain, alley flash, desperate kiss, neon witness. Worth every storm, spring surge, Eli's art class, his scribbles beside Nicholas's legacy lines. Studio scaled, mentorship program, queer kids mentored in media and making. One mentee, shy with sketches of hidden crushes, echoed young Nicholas. We guided gentle, Jake guest speaking via link. Summer solstice, vow renewal, intimate courthouse redux, Eli ringbearer in tiny tucks, Phoenix leashed best dog, Jake officiated remote, screen glitched but soulful, through tempests and triumphs, rings refreshed, kisses sealed, Eli cheering again, but life's no linear lift, dips demand. Mom's health faltered, stroke, subtle. Nicholas flew, me minding Eli, calls a lifeline. She's fighter, he reported, voice thick. Recovery rallied, rehab walks, her quilt hands relearning stitches. We visited collective. Eli's hugs her tonic. Families weave, she quipped, eyeing our patchwork. Falls fade. Eli's questions deepened. Why two dads? We'd frame honest. Love's shape varies, ours fits. Schoolyard stares met with shrugs. His resilience ours mirrored. Jake's LA life bloomed, branch office. Grace starting kinder, but homesickness tugged. East Coast pull strong. Winter warned. Blizzard stranding flights. Nicholas snowed in Ohio with mom. Solo parenting peaked. Eli's fever spiking. My panic dialing Jake. Breathe. Bro, you've got this. Fever broke dawn. Nicholas landing to collapse of relief. Team, he murmured. Us three tangled in bed. Phoenix guard. Climax crested subtle. Eli's drawing. Us as superheroes battling mean clouds. Betrayals personified. Nicholas framed its studio wall. Therapy fodder. Clouds pass, but real storm brewed. Old ex's shadow. Theo Redux linked in connect. Congrats on the empire. Nicholas showed transparent. Blocked. Ghosts grounded. Spring's renewal. Eli's birthday bash. Park picnic with mom. Jake's fam video bombing. Cake smeared. Laughter loud. Humanity's hymn. Summer sailed. Family camp. Canoes and campfires. Eli's first fish flopping triumphant. Fall's harvest. Book deal. Nicholas's memoir. Leviathan lines. Our story sketched veiled. Launch packed. Jake flying east. Mom front row. Eli hawking copies. Readings raw. Alley hook. Betrayal bends. Redemptive arcs. Q&A probed. Love's labor. I interjected from wings. Endless. Earned. Winter's wisdom. 10th anniversary. Coney echo. Cyclone conquered. Eli shrieking joy. Boardwalk dusk. Rings clinking beers. Speechless still. Nicholas grinned. Fluent in us. Years layered. Eli's teens turbulent. Crushes confessed. Identity quests we navigated tender. Jake's return. Firm HQ Brooklyn. Trio reborn. Mom's quilt's legacy. Gifted Eli for his own. Betrayals? Distant thunder. Scars that story. Love? Ocean vast. Us adrift but anchored, dramatic. Emotional. Romantic. Raw American heart. In rain-slick alleys or sun-gilt parks, we chose messy, mended, magnificently human.